Hey, Internet. Eric here. You know, what I have said numerous times in my videos, I say, you got a request for me, send it. As long as I can find a copy, I'll review it. I knew I was um, opening Pandora's box with that. Well, the plan for tonight was I was going to review Curse of Chucky because I wanted to finish the Child's Play retrospective series on this channel so I can be prepared for the remake to come out in a few months. But no, I got a couple friends who told me I need to review this. I got a couple friends who, for some ungodly reason, say I need to review this film and discuss it. So today, against my better judgment, I sat and watched, and I'm going to talk about Big Ballin' from Todd Bridges. Starring Todd Bridges. Fuck my life. This came out in 2014, I guess, because there's no Wikipedia page, there's no IMDb. I literally typed in Big Ballin', Todd Bridges, and some ripoff of IMDb said it came out in 2014. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I do discuss plot spoilers and specific scenes, even though no one's ever seen this film because of what I just said. So you watch at your own risk. Basic plot of this abomination is it's 2014. Todd Bridges and his brother are college students because Todd Bridges looks like a college student in 2014. And fuck my life. They're running out of tuition, so what do? They happen across a drug bust at a restaurant, and apparently the brick of weed falls out of the car, and they find it, and they decide to sell it on campus so they can get tuition money. Eventually, the drug dealer and his henchwomen are after them. Okay. Fuck. Alright. Acting. First off, the main person I'm really going to talk about is Todd, because he's the only named person in this film. You know, I've talked shit about Todd in a video and on social media because of some interactions I've had with him and some tweets I've seen by him. But say what you will, the man at least had a name. You know, I don't know if he was on Roots, but Little House on the Prairie, Diff'rent Strokes, obviously, that was a huge part of the 80s. And then eventually he disappeared and went on to celebrity boxing and World's Dumbest Criminals. But he's the only name actor in this, you know. And he fucking sucks. He is basically like the love child of Steve Urkel. Because he is the stereotypical nerd. He kind of talks like this, you know. And he's got the big, thick Coke bottle glasses with the tape. And he's got the fucking red suspenders and the plaid shirts and the pants rolled up to his fucking calves, and the orthopedic shoes because there's a fucking scene to kill time because then they talk about his orthopedic shoes because he's running and he's getting bunions. Anyways, his delivery is horrible. If I want to see a stereotypical nerd, I would watch Family Matters. I would watch Revenge of the Nerds. I would not watch this. He should have watched this and took notes. His acting is bad. His brother, who I think is his real brother, who also wrote this. And speaking of the writing, Todd can only do with what he's given. If a good actor is still given a shit role, he can make chicken shit into chicken salad or whatever that cliche is. And Todd just turned this chicken shit into a bigger pile of chicken shit. Not good at all. But it's not all his fault because the writing fucking sucks. The actor who plays his brother is horrible. There's also 3, I said, henchwomen that are after him, and they are literally a ripoff of Charlie's Angels because there's 3 of them. They're talking to the drug dealer whose name is Carlos because drug dealers have to be Spanish. Because I don't know if they were trying to make him to be like Scarface because there was a Scarface reference in this film. Their performances was horrible, and these people aren't actors. Who else was there in this film of merit? There was his mother, who was the stereotypical black, Jesus-loving woman. Literally she says, "Lord, Lord," that type of stuff. And she wants Todd, I think his name is Kevin, to find God and get away from all this stuff and blah blah blah. Stereotype. So she was horrible, and the only other character of merit and it's not because of a good reason, is the security guard at the college, and all he does is harass Kevin and his brother and fucking fart every time he's on the screen. Every time he's on screen, he fucking farts. I hate fart jokes. I've mentioned it in every review I've done with fart jokes. They're like the lowest form of comedy. And I lost count how many times this fucking asshole farted. Because farts are funny, apparently. So that's it. All the characters sucked. Todd sucked. The performances sucked. Let's get to the writing. The writing was horrible. Now, I know it was a message that, drugs are bad, okay? And you shouldn't do them. Fly the straight and narrow because, after Todd gets caught and arrested, he's put in jail. His brother made sure to use all the money that he made for tuition and this and that because, you need a good education, this and that. But the writing is still fucking garbage. The jokes are fucking garbage. One of the main jokes is after Todd is caught by the cops, I think, he's going to be sent in on an undercover sting, and they're trying to set the microphone, and he's doing a "Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?" And then he sings it type of joke, because I guess the Verizon "Can you hear me now" joke was still relevant in 2014. I don't know. So that was a poor attempt at a joke. And then another joke that really, fucking killed me was after Todd's, he's found out that they have a wire. He tries to run away from, Charlie's Angels light. And instead of running out the door, which would have been smart, or running into another room, which would have been smart, they're at a strip club. He jumps on the stage and he runs in between all the stripper poles, jumps on the stripper poles, spins around the stripper poles, because that's what you would do. And then the joke is they sped up the camera and they threw in some really bad knockoff of the Benny Hill music, because Benny Hill is relevant in 2014 and funny. He's not. Speaking of the music, they're in the strip club. The first time we see the strip club, there's two strippers. Now, I've never been to a strip club, okay? Never really desired to. It's not really my thing. But from what I've seen in either documentaries or TV shows or movies, they're usually full. There's usually a lot of excitement going on. There's usually a lot of loud music. This movie, and it might be a budgetary thing, had like two people at the stage holding up money for the strippers and no one else. They couldn't afford any extras or anything, which is hard to believe because I guess there must have been no budget because Todd's in this, his brother's in it, his sister's in it. I don't know if his mom's in it. He could have gotten some friends to sit in the background, but they don't. They couldn't even put music into the strip club scene at all. I don't know is this a strip club for deaf people? Who the fuck knows? And I have no problem with low budget movies. I love low budget movies if they're done right. But this is like a 25-cent budget because now, I think Todd filmed this in his house. I don't know. It looks like it. His dorm room literally looks like a broom closet. And, there's enough room for two beds, but the beds are actually hospital gurneys. I shit you not. They're hospital gurneys. They couldn't even afford blankets for these fucking hospital gurneys to cover it up, make it look like they were fucking beds. So that was horrible. Bad jokes, bad acting. Charlie's Angels. Poor. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about the costumes and the wardrobe. Other than when Todd's dressed like fucking Steve Urkel, everyone looks like they're wearing the clothes that they just showed up on set with. Like they just woke up out of their bed and they walked on set. Except for when Todd is trying to mac on a girl and he's asking her out on a date because the movie starts off, they're at a party and Todd's brother's like, oh hey, there's that girl. Why aren't you dancing? Why don't you go dance with her? Oh, I am dancing. I'm dancing on the inside. Why don't you go get her? Because you remember the last time I asked a girl to dance and they flash back to a tiny little Steve Urkel kid and he gets kicked in the balls from a girl, complete with really bad sound effect. So he's nervous around these girls. Finally asks her out, and to impress her, he dresses up in the most ridiculous outfit. He's got this, he's got his Coke bottle glasses, and he's got this weird, I don't know if it's a striped suit and a white, not really a top hat, but he's got a white hat on. He looks like the Hamburglar from like Bizarro World. Todd, black man, white hat, Coke bottle glasses, striped suit. You flip it around, you got the Hamburglar with the black mask and the black hat and the goofy face. Todd was the fucking Hamburglar, and he wins this chick over somehow. I don't know if she was drunk or not. So he's got no game, but we're supposed to believe him. And then he falls prey to the money and the notoriety and the fame that he's getting from selling these drugs. And there's this wonderful montage of Todd spending the money, and he's getting the perks, and he's having I don't know if he's getting a makeover or what have you, complete with them like polishing his head like it's a bowling ball with a big fucking towel. God, this was so fucking dumb. What else is there to talk about? I mentioned how, he talked about the orthopedic shoes because they had to kill time for an hour and 19 minutes. Speaking of an hour and 19 minutes, the credits were fucking 4 minutes long at a slow crawl because I think there's a requirement for a movie to be lengthwise. I don't know, but they were literally going this slow. And then they threw in some outtakes where they looked like, they looked like the outtakes when they were laughing, they thought they were making the greatest movie in the world. And that's fine, have pride in what you're making. Even if it's a pile of dog shit. And, well, they were right about that. They had pride in this pile of dog shit. This is probably one of the worst films I've watched on my channel. Hollow's End was not as bad as this. The 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special was not as bad as this. At least those films, if you watch those reviews, I said one good thing in each of them. Star Wars had the B. Arthur scene, which was fucking great. Hollow's End had, I think, the introduction to walking through the haunted house. This had nothing redeemable. I was unhappy with my friends this whole time. I was cursing them out under my breath and through text. And you know what? I really regret saying that, hey, I'll review anything. Oh, hey, Eric, how'd you spend your weekend? Not much, I just sat down and wasted an hour and 19 minutes watching some Todd Bridges movie. When I could have been out, at a bar partying or, sleeping. But I've rambled on too much. My brain hurts from this. I do not recommend... What did I say? I already forgot the fucking title. Big Ballin' with Todd Bridges. See, right there. Fucking Hamburglar. See? He's the Hamburglar. Highly recommend that you avoid this film. But, you can't really find it anywhere other than YouTube. So, fuck my life. This sucked. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Avoid it like the plague. Todd sucks. Character sucks. Rip off of I was going to say rip off of Charlie's Angels. Another rip off that they do is, have you ever seen the movie Half Baked? The scene where they're trying to raise money to get their friend out of jail. They sell weed and they sell it on I don't know if it's like matchbooks or little business cards, and it's called like Mr. Happy Face or something like that. They're passing it out to, all the kids or all the people in the area. Well, selling weed at a campus to try to raise money. Instead, they're instead of little booklets or whatever that they're selling, they're putting the weed in stuffed bunny rabbits and passing them out to the college kids, and they're saying free the bunny. So they ripped off Half Baked, kind of. And the thing is, if these guys are so much in debt, where the fuck did they get all those bunny rabbits from? I don't know. And I don't know what else to say, because I don't want to talk about this film anymore. And I really hate my friends. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, I guess. I don't care after this. Comment below. Tell me if you've actually seen this film. Tell me how wrong I am if you really think I'm wrong. Tell me how right I am if you really think I'm right. Tell me if you don't believe me that this film exists, because I really wish it didn't. So yeah, in the end, cheers and fuck.